being here during the war, guys.
People in the past few days have put a lot of flowers here.
Is it safe as a tourist? You do not want to fight guys that fight bears.
Something with this church. And the door's open. Let me see.
I haven't seen too many tourists here. You would not know there's a war. I would rather come here than go Paris, for example. I haven't seen any hooligans, homeless people. Russia is the losing country in this scenario. Oh, wow. Many different types of ethnicities here in Russia, guys. It's very multicultural. There's Muslims, there's Jews. The most Maybachs I've ever seen in my life. Security everywhere. I've never seen so many skinny people like in my life. What's up, everybody, and good morning from Moscow, Russia. Guys, today I'm gonna take you for a walk. We are going to walk to the Kremlin, the Red Square area. We're gonna talk about my honest thoughts on Russia and my trip here and how things have been going and what my impressions are being here during the war, guys. It's 2024 in June, end of June. And yeah, I just want to talk to you guys about what I've seen so far and how my experience has been. If you guys are wondering why it's so empty, it is 8 a.m. That's why it is so empty right now. It's 8 a.m. on a Sunday. But before we start this walk, because I have to walk all the way down there, we're just gonna go up here and grab a quick coffee. Can I get Americano? Big.
So?
One, yeah.
Cash?
Cash. That road that the coffee shop was on is actually really loud. Like even like one car drives, it echoes through the whole area. So, whew, I walked all the way down here because it's more quiet, no cars around the Red Square. So, you cross the road from here. You don't actually cross the road over there. All the crossings are underground over here. And when you come out, you have this beautiful Four Seasons hotel here. And that right there is the Red Square and the Kremlin and all that stuff. So I'm gonna start this conversation from right over here, guys. So the famous statue that people stop by, I believe his name is Zhukov, if I'm not mistaken. And people in the past few days have put a lot of flowers here. I'm not sure why these past few days, but when I first got here, there wasn't any flowers. But now, lots of roses. So I'm not sure if it signifies an anniversary or what, but yeah. Really cool statue, guys, really cool. He's got his hand out, facing downwards. Massive horse right in front of this beautiful building. I've been receiving a lot of questions. So I post my stuff on Instagram, like on my Instagram stories about where I am, like live, like where I am. Like I don't wait till I get home to edit them and then post them on YouTube like 2 weeks after my trip, or sometimes even a month after my trip. On Instagram, it's pretty much same day or next day. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know where I am. So for the people that do know where I am, that have been following me on Instagram, I've been receiving some questions and I figured, let me answer them on a YouTube video. The first question I get is it safe? I'm gonna answer your question from like a tourist point of view. Is it safe as a tourist? Yes, it's extremely safe. So I'm in Moscow and I'm only speaking on the center circle because I've been here for 90% of my trip, the center circle. Hold on, guys, let me show you this. The sun might be in the way, but you hear something with this church. And the door's open. Let me see. What is that? Oh wow, this is nice. Okay. I stepped out. I didn't know there was actually people in there praying. I thought maybe it was like a recording. I hope I didn't bother anybody. So Is it safe? So guys, I'm speaking on my experience in the center of Moscow. So if you don't know, the center of Moscow has a circle, and like that's the place you want to stay. Like it's known as the area of Moscow. Like the main focus is the main circle. So yes, it's extremely safe as a tourist. I'm an English speaker. English is my first language. Many of the young people here, like they speak or they try to speak at least some English. So it's been very easy for me to get around, and if that doesn't work out, I do use my translation app. That being said, guys, I haven't seen too many tourists here. So I think I've heard native English speakers maybe like once or twice during my whole trip here. Besides that, the other tourists that I've seen have been from like Gulf Arab countries like UAE and Saudi Arabia and Qatar and those countries. But that's it. Like, I don't know how many tourists are here right now, to be fair. But is it safe? Yeah, it's safe. You know, I walked pretty much everywhere. I've been doing 20 to 30,000 steps per day. I haven't seen any hooligans. I haven't seen homeless people, or like, you know, I haven't had to cross the street because there's people sleeping on the sidewalks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a comfortable trip for me as a tourist. Mind you guys, for those of you that don't know, it is my second time in Russia, but the first time I don't really consider it like a Russian trip. I went to St. Petersburg for the World Cup. I watched a couple games over there in 2018. But you know, in the World Cup, you see more foreigners than you do actual Russians. So I don't know, I didn't really like consider that like a Russia trip because I was mainly focused on the soccer games. Is it safe to come here as a tourist? Yeah, it's safe. It might be tough to get a visa depending on what country you're from, but they have an e-visa thing online. I think it's a great time to come visit. It is busy, but the crowds aren't too crazy. For being in Europe right now in the summer, honestly guys, like I would rather come here than go to, I don't know, Paris for example. I'm not joking. You get a lot of the same type of architecture, if not more, a lot of history, some beautiful museums here, beautiful art. You know, the food is great. They have a diverse amount of food here, guys. There's so many different types of food, and it's actually good. Hold on one second. The people are nice. The nightlife is great. I posted a video about that. You guys should watch it. And it's just a great time, guys. I would come here as a tourist for sure. Now, so the first safety I spoke about was being here as a tourist. No, nobody bothered me. The second safety I'm going to speak about is there's a war going on. Obviously, unless you're living under a rock, you do know that there's a war going on. So Moscow, like if you just turn off your TV, turn off the radio, social media, everything, and you come to Moscow, you would not know there's a war. Like, I don't know how to explain it. There's no war here, like, and there's no sense of war here. Patios are busy, restaurants are full, coffee shops are busy, malls are busy. Guys, life goes on. People are just living their life. Like, there's no sense of war. Like, I look at people's faces like, okay, it's wrong for me to say. There's a lot of people that probably lost loved ones and stuff like that, but I'm just basing it on what I see as a tourist. Life goes on. Like, I'm not seeing sadness. Mind you, I'm in tourist areas and busy areas and areas that people come out to have a good time, but it's no Gaza. Let me just put it that way. Like, it's no Gaza, and it doesn't feel like Russia is the losing country in this scenario. I'm not sure how it is in Ukraine. I haven't been there. I can't speak on the Ukraine, but over here, it's normal. I don't know, like it just feels like a regular day in Moscow, like nothing's going on. So guys, over here we are in the Red Square. It is massive. So I'm not even at the halfway mark, guys, and I've been walking for easily 5 to 10 minutes now from that gate over there. So the halfway is a few steps away, and then I'll be at that beautiful church that you could see from a distance. And I wonder if it's open. I would love to go in there with you guys because I haven't been in there myself. I'm wondering if it's one of those things that is more beautiful to look at from the outside rather than the inside. But it's an Orthodox church, and in general, Orthodox churches are beautiful inside and outside. I don't know why Orthodox churches specifically are very colorful. So if it's open, we'll go inside. I'm pretty sure it was built by one of the czars when they took over certain parts of Russia, if I'm not mistaken. Kazan? Maybe it was Kazan, I'm not sure. But it was built in celebration. Today is Sunday morning. I came for a walk here last night. First of all, it's Sunday morning. It's not even 9 a.m. and there are many people here. So I came here last night. It was rammed, guys. It was so busy. And there's a famous street right over there. So when you first walk in through that gate, if you turn left at that church, it's that famous street with the lights that everyone takes pictures on. That's a busy street too. It's like a pedestrian street, and it's by the famous mall they have. I think it's called Gum. It's spelled gum in English, but I think it's pronounced Gum here in Russia. Oh wow, 9 a.m. Another question I got, are Russians scary? No, they're not scary, man. They're normal people. Listen, Russians come in all different shapes and sizes. How could I explain this? For example, if you're North American and you've never left, and I know there's a lot of North Americans that have never left North America or never even left their province or state, let alone traveling the world. They've never traveled their own country. Russians come in all different shapes and sizes, and even different colors. Like, there's Russians that look extremely Oriental Asian. There's Russians that look like me. Like, when I tell people here I don't speak Russian, they almost go like, whoa, like what the hell? Like, we thought you were from here. And then there's obviously the first type of Russian that you think about, which is the white Russian with... Sorry about that, guys. My 9 a.m. alarm went off and I've been up since 6 a.m. So I didn't even need it. Yeah, so there's obviously the first Russian you think about when you think of Russia, which is the white Russian, the, light hair colored Russian. There's that Russian. They're the most. But there's many different types of ethnicities here in Russia, guys. It's very multicultural. Don't think it's just one type of people. There are many people that also immigrated here. I see Africans here. I see people from all around the world here, guys. Central Asia. I see people from everywhere here. So don't think you're gonna come here and you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb, because they're used to different ethnicities here. So don't worry about that stuff. So guys, mind you, even though I have reached this church over here, it might be too early for it to be open. This whole trip I've been showing up to tourist attractions too early. But it is a beautiful monument. Maybe we will walk around it. Let me go this way. Now guys, are Russians scary? No, they're not scary, but I want to start fights with, listen over here, you're going to get your stereotypical Russian guys. So you're going to get that guy that looks like, what was that guy's name that fought Rocky? So you're either going to get that guy, or you're going to get the Khabib guys that fight bears. And you do not want to fight guys that fight bears or guys that fight Rocky. So keep it peaceful when you come here. So yeah, it is closed off on all sides and it's not open yet. I will come back after. Now there's some people lined up here. They look like tourists from China from the looks of it. I wonder what they're looking at. Let's go take a peek. I am not sure what that is. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Aside from there being many different types of ethnicities here in Russia, there's also many different types of religions. Like, don't think there's only Orthodox Christians. There's Muslims, there's Jews, there's a lot of different religions here in Russia. And all around the Kremlin, guys, it just looks beautiful. So this is the Red Square, this is the street right next to it. This is the mall I was talking to you about. You'll see a Burberry sign, which I'm sure it's just there because they still hold the lease, but I think the store is closed for you know why. But the building here is just gorgeous. It looks like, any other European city, if not better. Always remember, guys, majority of the time, wherever you're traveling to around the world, you're not gonna have problems unless you look for problems. Always remember. In general, wherever you go, people will be nice. Just, don't look for problems. If you want problems, you could always find problems. And then this is the street I was talking about. So at night, all these lights, well, they're lit up right now, but obviously look better at night.
And yeah, this beautiful church is right next to it. Oh yeah, and it's open. You can actually go inside. Maybe I will show you guys inside real quick. But yeah, so from like mid-afternoon, the street gets really busy. We'll go down there right now. Let me just take a peek inside.
I forgot, it's Sunday, so people are praying, and I don't want to bother them on, you know, the day of God.
Over here is the priest, and I think one by one, people are lining up. I don't know what they're doing.
I'm not sure, guys, but people are lining up there one by one to, I don't know who, I think they're speaking to the priest, I'm not sure.
So yeah, so this is the mall I was talking about. Everything is pretty much shut down inside, like all like the high-end stores are pretty much shut down. Their signs are still there, but inside is pretty much, the door's been locked since the war started. So at nighttime it gets really busy here, and it goes far down, guys, but I'm not gonna go there because I don't know if you guys could hear it right now. There's a lot of construction going on and I'm filming a video.
Who doesn't love the sound of church bells? I always found them to be so soothing to the ears. Anyways, back to some questions. So a lot of you are wondering, is Russia expensive? So Moscow is certainly not cheap, I'll tell you guys. There is a lot of money here. Let me pass the speaker over here quick so you guys could hear me properly. There is a lot of money in Moscow, guys. Like, wow. I knew, you know, 140 million population, there's gonna be some rich people, but being here in the center of Moscow, I think I've seen like the most Maybachs I've ever seen in my life, the most G-Wagons I've ever seen in my life. Like, there's a lot of money here. Now, if you're here to be a tourist, I'll tell you, like, my average spend for like a 3-course meal for one person was like $15, approximately $15. Mind you, I didn't really drink alcohol during this trip. I just, you know, I just get my water, I get an appetizer, my main, maybe sometimes a soup, but that's it, like 15 bucks. Mind you, I'm in a tourist area. I didn't really go to like a local mom and pop type of joint. You could go to McDonald's, you could get a massive meal for like $5. The old McDonald's, not the new McDonald's, sorry, not the old McDonald's. I got like a Big Mac, a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke for about approximately $4 or $5 US. So you could eat really cheap if you want to, or if you spend like an extra 10 bucks, you could get like a real cooked meal, like not fast. Transportation is very cheap in comparison to where I'm from in Canada, and in America it's very cheap. Their Uber app here is called Yandex. It is very good, guys, but you have to pay cash if you're a foreigner because they don't accept foreign credit cards here anymore. One thing that I found really cool about their app over here, the Yandex app, you could order Maybachs. So for like 15 minutes, I think, you could get a Maybach for $20 to $25 approximately, and they get there in like 5 minutes. You get a Maybach, guys. It's really cool. I've never seen like a car like that on a ride-sharing app. Would I come back to Moscow? Yeah, I would come back to Moscow. Moscow's a beautiful city, guys. Like, this place is world class. If you like history, it's perfect for you. If you like to party and have a good time, it's perfect for you. It's just great. You could easily spend 5 days here, no problem, and have a great time. Like, you could have a full day of stuff to do every single day. You know, when you do come here, if you do visit, that's probably why you might be watching this, or you're just curious. Look past everything you see on the news in whatever country you're from, or social media. You know, people aren't too different from one another. Over here, people just, not everybody is evil. Obviously, not everybody's good. But in general, not everybody's evil, guys. Come here with an open mind. It's a beautiful country. It's perfectly, like, okay, Moscow is really safe. I'm not sure about the other places, but this center circle that when you visit Moscow, you're probably gonna stay here. Beautiful. One thing that I really love, guys, I told you the Uber app, or what they call as Yandex over here, is amazing, but you don't really need it. So Public transportation is fantastic here. Like, it's just world class. I'll put a picture of like what it looks like. It's crazy, especially like coming from, okay, I'm from Toronto. Our subway infrastructure is like a 4 out of 10 at best. Over here, there's metro stations everywhere, and you could get to anywhere you want for a very affordable price, and they're extremely clean. Like, you ever look at the news and you see all these like crazy people on your local subway stations? Over here, it's not like that. Security everywhere. They're checking everybody. There's always staff walking around. There's cameras. It's very clean. There's no piss on the ground. There's no garbage on the ground. I love that about here, guys. I wish one thing that we could replicate from Moscow is their subway infrastructure. Please, guys. It makes things so convenient. You do not need a car whenever you want to do something. You know, Russia is big, massive, biggest country in the world. Canada's not too far off, but over here they've prioritized getting people around for an affordable price. I hope we could do that one day. If there's one thing that I would love to copy and paste from Russia and put it into Canada, it would be the public transportation. And I'm sure you people in America feel the exact same way.
Little weekend run club over here. Wow, there's gotta be almost 100 people, guys. These guys are running from all the way down there.
They're not that different than people from North America. They go for jogs on the weekends too. So another reason why I love public transportation, guys, is you get to walk, you get to exercise. Like right now, it is, let me see what it is. Look, it's 10 a.m. I am at 6,000 steps, guys. Coming from a city where public transportation isn't that good, and I hate to keep bringing my city down, but I'm allowed to criticize where I'm from. So coming from a place where public transportation isn't that good, it's so hard to get your steps up, guys, because look, you wake up in the morning, you know, you want to go to work, so you go to your parking spot, you sit down in your car, you go to work, and most likely if you have an office job or most types of jobs, at least half the time, if not like 80% of the time, if you have an office job, you're sitting down, you're not moving, you're barely cracking like 6,000-7,000 steps a day. Over here, I'm cracking like 20,000 to 30,000 steps per day. Mind you, I'm a tourist, but I'm sure people that are out working every single day or out and about with their friends here using public transportation aren't too far off from that 20,000 step count per day. And that is why so many people here are in shape. My God, I've never seen so many skinny people like in my life. I know I say that every single time I go to any European city, but here especially, I'm seeing so many people that are in shape. I'm gonna close this one out, guys. Just before I close this out, let me just say one thing. Nobody cares where you're from. And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you're a good person, nobody cares. Oh, let this Benz pass by. Making a lot of noise, sir. Sorry, Russia. I told you, a lot of Benzes. Anyways, nobody cares where you're from, guys. As long as you're a good person, the politics don't matter. Like, if you're an American, you want to come to Russia, nobody's gonna automatically hate you. Just be a good person. If you're a Russian going to America, same thing, guys. As long as you're a good person, everything is cool. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna close this one out here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've been to Russia, let me know how your experience was in recent times. And if not, let me know if you're planning to come visit Russia. I suggest you do come because personally, I had fun in Moscow. It's been a great city. I'm here in the summertime, so the weather is fantastic too. It's beautiful during the day and it's nice and cool at night. I love that type of weather. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye from Moscow.